Hi guys, Steph here. Right, we've got for you two very nice handsome pens. And these pens you would have seen in in my recent pen haul part one. And you can see them very briefly here. There we go. Look at that. And here they are again. Okay, now basically what's happened since, let's take the pen. You can see it's got the instructions inside, comes as I mentioned in an old swan box, as you can see there. But what we've got for you here are two lovely early Blackbird eyedropper fountain pens. Now, the problem that I've had is how do I date them? Because, yeah, I mean, these early ones, they made a lot of these eyedropper pens in the early 1900s. But very briefly, maybe Todd and Company were established in New York, I think around about 1860. They were then reformed to maybe Todd and Bard, I believe, around about 1873. And then they reverted back to maybe Todd and Company in 1907. Now, in 1909, the British side of the company began manufacturing pens. Okay, so that's from 1909, and then in 1940, the name in the British side, if you like, was changed to maybe Todd and Company Limited. Okay, now the reason I'm saying that is both of these pens, as you'll see in a moment, are actually, they marked up as maybe Todd and Company. Okay, so maybe Todd and Company, as we said, from 1907 through to 1914. So that's the date that I'm putting on these pens. Maybe, well, yeah, maybe 1914. I don't know. Now, one of the other imprints is slightly different, which we'll show you in a moment. But let's have a look at the pens. Now, basically, all that's happened, they were in excellent condition as I found them. All I've done is disassembled them, cleaned them, and put them back together, and just given them a very light polish. But as you can see, they're in absolutely gorgeous condition. Now, the size of this particular one is from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, 136 millimeters capped. Around the barrel, around about 9.5 millimeters in diameter. Now, let's show you the barrel imprint on this one. Okay, so there we have it, and it reads Blackbird fountain pen, as we said, maybe Todd and Company, made in England. So once again, maybe Todd and Company without the limited and made in England. So what are we dating it? Yep, maybe around the early 1900s. Either way, both of these are antique fountain pens, over a year old, over 100 years old. But yeah, any time between sort of 1909, 1914, who knows, maybe just a little bit later. Okay, so that's that one. And this one, again, slightly different. Let's show you the barrel imprint. Let's keep it nice and still for you. This one reads Blackbird fountain pen, maybe Todd and Company, New York, USA, made in USA during war. So it was made during the war. Now the war, what, 1914 was it? Through to 1918. So again, if we're saying sort of 1914, we're not far off. So, but if anybody else has got, knows the exact dates, then, please share that with us. But all I'm doing is sort of, doing a little bit of homework and trying to find the exact dates of the pens. Now both of these pens, as you can see, are actually what we term as clipless. So in theory they came without a clip. Now obviously people wanted to carry these pens around when they were actually out at work, wherever. So this one you can see is fitted what we term as an accommodation clip. So it's a clip that you could have purchased separately. It actually slides on the pen and it allows you to pop the pen into your shirt jacket, into your jacket, be it whatever. But this one doesn't have one. But what you would have seen in my pen haul as well is this little thing here. Now this, if we turn it round for you, I don't know if that's the right way up, is it? I don't know, but hopefully it is. But this is a Swan metal pocket. And this was another little accessory that you could actually purchase at the time. And what it does, it allows you to get the pen, pop it in this little sleeve like so, and then at that point you've got the little clip. You could then pop it into your shirt pocket, your jacket pocket, as we're showing you here. So there you go, both pens in the shirt pocket with the clips. Okay, so that's what this little gadget is here. Now, the thing that I don't like about it is that it's a little bit sort of spring-loaded, so I can imagine over the years it would actually wear, you know, the pattern, the chasing from the pens. But for you people that have never seen one of these before, that is what this is for. As I say, it's a Swan, what they term as a Swan metal pocket. So it allowed you to pop the pen into your jacket and away you go. Now the second one here that we've just shown you, this one is slightly shorter in that from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, 131 millimeters capped and 9 millimeters in diameter. But as you can clearly see, both pens are in absolutely superb condition for a 100-year-old pen. Now this one has been sold and it'll be going to a new owner on Monday. This one still available. Anyone interested, you know what to do. Down below, get in touch. Okay, both of them have what we term as a slip cap. Okay, and there we have it. And the nice thing about it, the slip cap sits on nice and snugly. A lot of them are very loose because of wear. So this one, in actual fact, when I actually was cleaning this one, I actually put some water in the barrel. There was no remnants of ink. So in my opinion, this pen has, well, if it hasn't ever been used, it may have just been used for dipping purposes, I don't know, but there was no remnants of ink in the barrel. You can see it's got quite a long nib, as you can see there. And once again, the interesting about the nib, the imprint on this one reads Maybe Todd and Company, again without the limited. And in this case, it's actually a 12 karat gold nib. And then to the bottom, it has the number 2, so it's a number 2 nib. There's a sideways view. There's the feed underneath. Again, everything lovely and clean. And it's ready to go to write. For you people that have not seen these pens before, what you would do, you would simply just unscrew the section like so. Inside the barrel, you would have used a sort of an eyedropper of the period, hence the name an eyedropper pen, and you would just simply put ink straight into the barrel. Nowadays, yeah, you can use eyedropper, a pipette, a syringe, be it whatever. But for me personally, because of the age of the pen, the condition, I believe it's a collector's pen, because I think it's quite a rare pen. and the age of it and the condition, it's a collector's pen as opposed to a user pen. But as I say, this one is going to a new customer, so he can decide what he wants to do with the pen. But let's just see how the pen writes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a dip test. So let's dip it in the ink to my right, and what we've got is a Blackbird fountain pen, and this one, as we said, made in England. And you can see it's got a, I would say a stub nib or an italic, because on the downward stroke we're getting quite a broad line, whereas on the cross stroke we're actually getting, well, a fine line. So yeah, it's got some slight flex to it as well, but writing very nicely indeed. Let's pop the cap onto that one, and while we're at it doing a dip test, let's have a look at the other one. This one, the nib reads maybe Todd and Company, 14 carat, and also a number 2 nib. So once again, this one's been flushed out. This one did have a little bit of, the ink the water came out blue, but it's been thoroughly flushed out. Everything's been cleaned, and once again, it's ready to go to a new home, and the new owner can decide what he wants to do. But as I say, my opinion, the collector's pens, but I'm going to get a bit of a blob there. So what we've got here is a Blackbird fountain pen, and this one was made in USA, and as it said, it was made during the war. Okay, so once again, we've got a nice stubby nib. Downward stroke, we're getting a broad line, and we're getting a fine line across. So yeah, I would say it's got a slight stub of a nib. But there you go, very briefly, there's a writing sample for both pens. Writing very nicely indeed. So there we have it. 2 gorgeous antique pens, again dating very early 1900s. One made in England and one made in the USA during the war. One is sold, has found a new home. One is looking for a new home. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pens as much as I enjoy showing them to you people. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. Don't be shy. Give the video a thumbs up if you will. Don't forget to subscribe as well. But for now, I'm just going to say Slava Ukraini from me and these gorgeous pens. Bye-bye for now.